Speaking of things happening on Instagram, Hollywood Unlocked recently asked this question on theirs. Do you think that people should still be held accountable for offensive comments they said 10 years ago? Now, a lot of people weighed in. There was like Lil Duval was on there saying, words don't mean much. You should be held accountable for your actions. And then our good friend Charlemagne the God, who said in part, the man or woman who thinks the same way at 30 that he did at 20 has wasted 10 years of his life. If you've grown in those 10 years, why would I hold your words against you? Ladies, what do you think? Yo, I'm personally with Charlemagne the God. I feel like people are every day evolving and growing. Every day we're learning more about things, and I think people only say and do things based on their knowledge or ignorance. And I feel like if you've grown from that ignorance, you have the right to evolve.
I mean,
That's just my
Charlemagne is
opinion.
my brother for a reason because he be saying stuff like that. Um, but I think the other thing is too, it depends on what they've said. So there's certain things that even 10 years ago were ignorant and unacceptable and ridiculous. And there's certain things that 10 years ago simply just weren't a part of our lexicon. I think like when we talk about just the growth that our society has made in terms of understanding the trans community and the language associated with it, like there's a lot of folks that 10 years ago didn't know that certain things were offensive or that certain things were simply just untoward, and that now may have more insight into that. And so there's certainly, like you said, just got to be some grace given to the fact that some of us have grown, our society has grown in some ways,
Yeah.
and you got to give people a chance to at least say, I've grown. If they're still like, nah, what I said 10 years ago is what I think now, cut it. You need to cut it.
But the
Yeah,
problem I
particularly
have is that
for
a lot of people say that they're wrong, and then people don't forgive them. People take
Yes,
away their livelihoods. People,
yes,
and I'm like, so why admit that you're wrong if they gonna banish you anyway? I mean,
1000.
we have to learn that if someone says and they're sincere about it, they say, you know
Yep,
what, I was wrong. I'm trying to, I've become a better person. I've grown. We need to hold them to their word,
yes.
but not
yes.
banish them completely.
Speak, Lonnie Love.
I think people are owning it, but people are afraid to own it sometimes because people just they keep badgering. And then what happens is we live in this social media world where they take one thing that you said or one tweet or one sound bite, and then everybody piles on that.
Jumps
You try
on
to
it.
respond to it.
Mentality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's why people have a fear.
Well, the truth of the matter too is that a lot of those people are simply just deflecting, right? And they're not
Yeah.
really even looking at their own behaviors or their own accountability. It's so much easier to just point a finger at somebody else than to point at yourself and say, "Well, what am I doing?" But
Yep.
to point to but I just want to say, like when Little Duval says that words don't matter, like yes, they do.
Yes,
As a
they do.
wordsmith, words are absolutely important to me, and sticks and stones break bones, and so do words. They
Word.
break
Absolutely.
my little proverbial bones. Okay, so
Yeah. Is
and
there
you
anything?
know what? You know what? Another thing about that, when that statement was put out in the world, and we took that when we were younger, emotional and mental abuse were not really top of mind. And now
Correct.
that we have
Right.
gotten older, we come to understand that the things that people say to you can harm you in ways that the
For
things that people
years.
do.
Bring lifelong trauma.
For even in
Years.
that, we've evolved. Even in that, we've evolved. I do have a question for all of you ladies, though. Is there something that you feel someone could say that should not be forgiven? Is there something that you'd be like, nah, I can't forgive that?
Yes, if you're N-wording, at no time since we've been around has N-wording ever been acceptable.